Oh my God. Oh my God. What a fucking day. That was an insane. Oh my God. I'm eating a cough drop to hope I get through this without coughing. Oh my God. Would you rescue me? Would someone rescue me from this madness? Oh my God. Thank God I have such a silly attitude about life. Rescue me. This was not funny what happened today. But there's a couple of things that are going to happen. We're going to short intro, everybody. So I'm going to ignore. First of all, welcome. I'm Alyssa, and this is BYOB, Corona Days. If you're visiting for the first time and you're like, what the hell? So I entered this Corona Days, this lockdown, pandemic-y, quarantine-y thing sometime, I think, in February. You know, it was like I had a very slow lockdown until the day someone's like, that's it, lock it up. So I had been closing down for a long time and limiting my areas and everything. And so this is like been documenting since that day, which was before the general public of Tel Aviv got locked in. And things like, I haven't seen the sea that's blocks away. I have only seen one specific part that's literally 500 meters from my apartment. So I haven't seen much. Just trying to find my way because no one knows the rules, no one knows regulations. So first I'll start with this one story because it's so insane. There is a girl that put up an ad for an apartment for rent yesterday during Yom HaShoah, and it opened up and it just said rare, and it was the most basic Tel Aviv crap one-bedroom apartment, and it was more than 5,000 shekel, and we're all women on this site. And immediately, hi Avi, oh my God, Avi, stick around tonight. Wait, Avs, do you have a glass of wine? Tell me when you get your glass of wine and we'll do it together. All right, I have one bottle that I have to go very slowly. I will not drink much, but I'm not a big drinker, so this has to last me until a magical bottle shows up, or a case. Who would like to find me my sponsor? Who can sponsor just some wine for Facebook Live for the girl that's been in this quarantine and it won't end? If someone knows, I'd love, in Judea Sumari and the Shamwan, if there's a wine guy and he wants to be generous to the quarantine lost in Tel Avivian and the lost, the New Yorker lost in the Middle East. Tell me when you got your wine, because I'm holding for my l'chaim with you. Wait, so Avi, two stories. So this girl puts out this thing, and she does it on Yom HaShoah during a pandemic, and is like rare apartment. And it doesn't even have a shower. It has like a floor. So a lot of us are like, rare? What's so rare about this? This is so common and so overpriced. And it was in Florentine, and it was like nothing. So we all were like, no, it's not a good deal. Well, anyway, like I eventually outed her also, but in my Alyssa ways, because I was just shocked. And I just said that I would hope that in a Jewish city, in a Jewish country, that we could have some Jewish values. And she proceeded to call me, I think she called me xenophobic. I'm so lost. What is Tel Aviv, everybody? I mean, it's a city. It's a liberal city, but it's a Jewish city in a Jewish country, and it's called Tel Aviv. Yeah? Okay. And I would just like just to have more Jewish values. Why does that make me xenophobic? So, and the next thing we know, we all got this mail, notes or whatever, and the girl's like, I'm trying to rent this apartment for my husband's grandparents or something. And it's like, wait, your grandparents have a roof over their head, they have their apartment, they're good to go, and they actually have a piece of property that they could rent during a pandemic, and you post it on Yom HaShoah, and it's a ripoff? and you're angry that people are outing saying it's not a good situation, and especially this is just women, Anglo women, so we try to be careful for each other. We're trying to empower one another. And then I get this liberal garbage thrown at me. So she reached out. It's a great post. I think it was some of my, I have it all. I don't know if they like even got rid of it already, but it was just so foolish. I'm like, put it on an inflated Israeli. I mean, what the hell? It's worth like 3,000 shekels right now on the market. And they wanted 5,000 shekels, but the way rare. The whole thing was bad from beginning to end. So she wrote me, and then I realized who it was. And I'm laughing because, Avi, tell me when you have your Dua L'chaim. Tell me that you have it. It's so crazy that I can't let you join. Anyway, so she writes me. Then she writes back about her grant, that it's whatever it is, older people. So I just was shocked because these people have a property to rent. They could rent it for $200 less than the inflated Tel Avivian price. Make a profit. Make good constant money. It's blown away. Blown away. But what I do know, and everybody knows that my topics are anti-Semitism, and I love justice. My other topic is Jewish values, and I want to bring them back to Tel Aviv. And now, during a pandemic, this is a perfect time to bring back Jewish values. This is what we need here. Everybody, Jess, Avi, since none of you guys are doing L'chaim, I'll do it without you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei poli hagafen. All right. Jess, if any of your cousins know any winery people, the Facebook girl that's forever in quarantine really needs a few bottles or a case, because I don't have this much wine. I don't drink that much wine, but this Facebook Live is going to continue as long as the situation is. So I just need, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Like a good neighbor, Tel Avivians, Israelis are there. Hello, let's all be in this together. Some famous, if one more influencer gets free food or free things in their mansions and they show pictures, why would you do that? Oh, it's so tacky. Okay, so let's go. Okay, here we go. So we all know that I was chased out of a park by some kids a week ago. So it started that I kept going to this park, and the crowd was growing and growing. Like, it was two kids. I was like, whatever. It was growing and growing. And there was always the same kid there that was like the bully. And so a week ago, I took this really funky photo. It's always like, I'm not sending my photos to shame. I'm not in that world. I don't play that game. So my photos are always sort of like a artistic aspect of what the fuck is really happening. And so it was a photograph, and I focused on the tape, and you probably could see the feet of the children. That was like the goal of the photo. What I didn't expect is when I turned around, I had a group, was it 6 or 7 children? How old were they? 13, 14, I have no idea. But they were old enough to be really mean and really nasty. And they scared me, and they started yelling at me that I needed to leave the park. Now, parks were closed, and I was on the outside, like you walk past the park, but they were in. I guess I was in so I could take a picture of like the tape, but I wasn't sitting on a bench. I wasn't, hanging out. I wasn't in and out. And they started running after me. Anyway, at that time, the kid brought out his camera, and he's like, I'm telling my mom. I'm like, all right. So I stood there. I'm like, do you want me to tell your mom something? Like, she should learn how to obey the law. Like, I was pissed, and I've been seeing it for too long. And no, you can't take the law into your own hands. I got that, people. I did try to contact the police to just stop it already, that it's not fair, that this is constantly going on. Now, if it's someone's backyard and this is sababa, but it wasn't. You could tell who was in the neighborhood, and anyway. eventually I put a very blurry photo of just kids running at me, and I explained the story. I didn't mention the name of I didn't, whatever. So it was just like a story of happened in my world, but it wasn't for public consumption, and it wasn't about shaming. It was just talking about what I keep seeing on my journey. I mean, I'm a photographer. I'm going to photograph the good, the bad, and the ugly. From the guy who's pushing a baby carriage with his mask on and gloves, which is breaking me, to the girl standing in her like tiny, skinny, like no Tel Avivian dress, smoking a cigarette in the middle of the street without a mask, not around her neck, nothing, just standing there, just free to be you and me. Like, this is not a pandemic, people. So, all right. So then today I went to where I could go, and I'm like, can't go in there, too many people, gonna avoid it, because the park was packed, no social distancing, very few masks. So whatever, it's not about reporting. Everybody can ease off. A friend talked me out of that a week ago after I took that photograph, and I was just, too stressed to go outside. So there I was, and I was taking a photograph. Oh, God, this is so crazy. I was taking a photograph of an empty playground that was wrapped up in red tape. And behind it was a basketball court with a lot of people playing basketball. And my brain was I was on a sidewalk space, huge park playground, and behind that basketball court. So I was extremely far from whatever was in the background, but I wanted to show that it was coming alive, right? And this woman comes out of nowhere. Fat, ugly, wearing a schmata dress. Of course. I can't remember if she had a mask on. I don't think she did. Something makes me believe she didn't have a mask on, so. She comes over, she's like, Ma at mitzalemet. I was like, Ma? Ma at mitzalemet? Like, what are you photographing? אז אמרתי לך, סתם, ככה, חיים. And then she came back at me again, and I said, hi, B. And I came back at her again. You missed the other story, Brenda, that you would have laughed. Well, not laughed. You'll go back, you'll hear it. You should listen to it. It's crazy. Anyway, so then she's standing there, and she's sort of walking, and she's like getting closer, and she's like, what are you photographing? And I'm like, I'm standing. There's nobody there. There's an empty playground. It's wrapped up in freaking tape. I have not seen a sunset in months, right? And there I am, like me and my little iPhone, and I have this fucking fat ass bully in my face. She's like, Matt, it's a limit. And I'm like, whatever. And she and then I said something. Then I said something in English, and she went, oh, and she starts screaming, you pedophile! Pedophilia! ככה מצלמת בילדים! היא מצלמת ילדים בפארק! Like screaming that I'm a pedophile. I'm like, lady, you're crazy. You are a non-law abiding citizen. I don't know what the hell is your issue, and I'm sitting there going, wait a minute. And this is not happening. And she's screaming, and people start looking up and looking at me, and I'm like standing there like mass, like freaking loser, right? Wait, Brenda, wait. And I'm sitting there, and I look up, and the basketball court stops, right? They get out, and this like group, like they're a group, and I look, and I see 9 like freaking crazy people looking up at me, the kid, and then I realize it's the mother of the fucking crazy kid of the bully. Oh my God. Now you know how children are awful people. He was the exact double of his awful mother. Wait, so he comes out, like I see him, I'm like, oh my God, and he's a scary kid, right? So and then I see like they grab for a mask, and I'm like sitting there not understanding exactly what's going on, and they start sort of like coming, like they're about to like make their move, and I quickly dial the police, like I'm about to be freaking attacked by a bunch of like non-law abiding citizens. Like, this is insane. And she just called me a pedophile, and I hear her screaming like, "My husband's an orach din," and like, understand, this is like crazy in Hebrew, and I'm like, and the heart is beating, and I think I dialed 100, but I dialed 8,000, and I ran like a fucking hyena. And because I know the streets so damn well, because I'm 100 fucking meters for so many months, and I know my ins and outs, and I was like this. There was music playing as a hyena took off, and I went and I hid, and then I slid down the wall, checked reflections. I've been watching a lot of movies on Netflix. I can outdo you in an action scene, Zachia Levy. I'm sure I can at this point. So, real deal, I'm like sliding in there going this. I mean, at one point, I was so lost in my neighborhood, I didn't even know what freaking street I was in. My heart is racing, and I'm thinking, I mean, thank God. I mean, the guy was just such a schmuck. Wait, Dewey, my kids are a little drunk. Oh my God. Hi, Rich. You missed the whole story. You got to go back and listen. So I am in heart palpitation mode. I hate people that don't follow the law. I think they're just fucking assholes. I mean, it's a pandemic. But here's the deal. If I ever was upset by anything in behavior here, it is not better. It is 100 times worse, scary, and I really feared the second outbreak. And no, I don't know numbers, Brenda, but what I do know is if there's a law that says your kid after a certain age, I wasn't in the park. I was photographing an empty playground. I've been photographing children in playgrounds my whole life. I'm called a pedophile. So she's like, "That's you, I have a picture." And I'm thinking, oh my God, it's going to go through Israeli news that like I'm a pedophile. So people, please, there's a lawyer that I need to get, because this is so sick that a woman that broke the law, and she was breaking the law. Like, I was doing my thing. Now I was just photographing a playground, but whatever her paranoia was ripe, right? Totally ripe. So she was definitely doing something wrong. I can't figure out what it was, because I wasn't really doing anything. I was photographing an empty playground. That if playing basketball is not legal right now, I don't know. I wasn't what my point was, but like, I was photographing life. Now, I don't know what the rules are anymore. No one knows what the rules are anymore. And I would never put up a photograph shaming a child and a child. That's so crazy. I would never do something like that. But the idea that I was called a pedophile for photographing an empty playground, we are working with a very sick mindset here. And that is a sick, liberal, sorry, I'm going to say it, mindset that can break the law and then turn that law in order to hurt another human being. And so I want my voice heard coming out of Tel Aviv, because I'm actually laughing, but I'm pissed as hell when I have to deal and sit there being masked for months and locked in a hole, and unmasked people coming to a window, and they're workers of the city and nobody can protect me. I'm fucking pissed. Yeah. I'm fucking pissed that this lunatic is screaming that I'm a damn pedophile for photographing an empty playground in the middle of a damn freaking pandemic, and she has them going after it to chase me. So I get home. Hi, Peter. So I get to my apartment. It's never home. It will never be home. And that was besides not able to leaving my apartment, because everyone is congregating in the lobby of the building, in the entrance of the building, and they're bringing their guests in front of the building. So I can't even leave my fucking apartment because people aren't wearing masks in front of the building. So, and there are people that are not it's so crazy what's going on. It's so crazy. Well, because I don't live in the best fucking apartment, all right? L'chaim. But I will someday. Because I'm so tired, Brenda, of people complaining about money here and work and opportunities when I was having a hard time trying to get a job here. And I called so many people, and I have all the experience of a New Yorker. I have tons of good stuff. Nobody would answer a call. Nobody would acknowledge me. Nobody would respond, or they'd make fake meetings. So I'm disgusted when I keep hearing all these people crying and they're begging for money from the government, let alone how in the God's name, when someone asks you for a job and you know that they're educated and qualified and you don't try to help them, well then shame on you. And this is what this is all about, even all through the world, not just in Israel, even in America. You know, I had some guy who's a very big guy who contacted me in LinkedIn, and then I wrote something funny about something in LinkedIn about a job that I had done. And I don't know who he is, but instead of like communicating, people just do this pathetic thing like they're better than you. No one is better than anybody. You respect whatever you respect. You want to put up a thing saying this is a rare apartment in Tel Aviv for what was that, 5,000 shekels in Florentine, and there was no real bathroom or shower, and you make a profit on people during a pandemic. And this is people that are having, oh my God, I'm just so disgusted with humanity. Girl. Quarantine. Corona days. I'm not alone. I'm not alone. People, listen. So I now know I know someone who knows somebody that is now giving out mask tickets. And I don't know if they're considered undercover or I know them. And I don't know if they're considered undercover, but I begged this person through another person to try to get me some help to protect myself. That if you are connected to the police and now you ignore this immigrant talking to you saying, I need some help here already. Because he heard the story of the person chasing me. And can you imagine? Oh my God, with my sneakers that are like clown sneakers, my Corona sneakers. Oh my God. And they say something on the back of them. Oh my God. So I was like, I was really, I took the vest off because I'm like, I watched too many movies where like, gotta run for cover. I don't know, I should have taken my braid out, but I'm so neurotic about my Corona braid that like, God forbid I'd open my hair up. But my God, God, it's crazy. It's so crazy. Like, how could you not acknowledge other people? How could you turn a situation around and call someone a pedophile who's photographing an empty playground because your kid was playing in the playground nonstop? They never, ever, ever, ever followed the rules from day one, since the park was closed. So that's the drama of the day. I have one more bite of candy, and I will then have no more candy. I still have some chocolate, thank God, but I just really I'm a little confused on food and stuff like that. It's getting harder to eat, weird appetite. Anybody else? But yeah, So listen, I avoided the park today because it's not cool. It's not about me going to report it. If there's a time where I can go and there's no one in the park, I'll walk to where I can in my 500 meters. I'll do my exercise in peace, but there was no peace in the park. So that was good. And then I'm like, okay, so maybe the streets are empty. So I went to the streets. And so I just go from empty street to empty street to empty street to empty street to just breathe. So if you're listening to this, you have an issue or you don't have an issue, but hi, Chaim Tex. Hi, Tzibale. Miss you. So hi, Petey. Did I say hi, Pete? So if you have an issue with what I'm saying, then I actually have a serious issue with you because you're listening to somebody that you know. And I'm a voice. Someone with cancer who's dealing with so many things right now doesn't have the ability to be like, do you know how difficult this is? Or the old 93-year-old man, I don't understand. There's a famous guy, he keeps walking with this old man and he's never wearing a mask. The old man wears a mask and the guy doesn't wear a mask. Like it's about being an example. But why would you not wear a mask next to a 93-year-old man? I don't care who you are. Oh my God. Why do people think that they are any better than anybody else? It's severely shocking. So, did I tell you I made carrot soup? Yeah, it's really good. I think I could live on carrot soup. I don't think I can live without some candy soon. L'chaim, l'chaim. What else happened? Yeah, so I need to see the sea. But listen, I can figure out the sea when the sea gets open. Like, I can figure out, I'll do it at certain hours and nobody is there, and I can get in the water and I'll swim when it's ready. I really don't want to be anywhere that's not legally you're supposed to be. And I also don't need to push. Like, all right, so if you guys want to sit and have a picnic, even though you're not supposed to be having a picnic in the park, that's fine. I don't give a shit. I'm just not going to the park, but that's a bummer. It's too bad we can't share our space. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, can't we just share? Why do you have to just take it all? Why can't we share? I don't have a problem with sharing. Can you imagine kids playing soccer in masks over the age of 6? Like, that's a photograph. These are times. This is a pandemic. And listen, we don't know. Nobody's the expert. You don't know anything. We don't know. This is all new to all of us, right? But like, second outbreak. My friend just gave me something about the Spanish flu, that the Spanish flu, the second outbreak was worse than the first outbreak. So I don't know. Everybody's got to get a grip. And the congregating in front of my apartment is getting bigger. Like, today was very difficult to leave the apartment. There was a lot of people in front of my apartment. I know now the sounds and the voices. I know who's the neighbor and who's not. And like, it was really difficult. It's really difficult. And I don't know where they are. It was as if somebody was sitting there breathing down my neck today. They like wouldn't leave the entranceway. I'm like, not the greatest apartment during a pandemic. Let's just say that. But why can't people respect windows that are open? In the Jewish religion, there's a halakha. Tzipi, do you know what it is if you're still watching? There's a halakha. You look out windows, you don't look in windows. You also don't go near a window during a pandemic with no mask on. Don't go by people's windows. You don't go by people's windows. And if you do, like, you should show some level of privacy to people. Windows are to be looked out of, not to look into windows. It's a Jewish halakha. Learn it. Okay. I'm going to go and try to calm down. Just try to ease back into the calm. I think I could, hold on, let's see if I can make it more interesting. Ease into the calm. Yes. Brenda, what a story, huh? But it's very, oh my God, I was sliding down. I was like in a scene from Fauda. I'm like, because of my 100 meters. Okay. Like, just, you gotta see the whole thing. Like, there I am in my mask, in my scarf, because I was cold today. I wasn't feeling 100% with my pink vest, which I'm never wearing again. I have retired my pink vest if you try to find me on the streets, because if that woman puts up the shaving photo, I'm going to die. I'm not a pedophile, everybody. I'm just like letting you all know that right now. This is the sickest thing anyone has ever said to me after they broke the law and allowed their child to break the law. I'm dying here. Like, I'm laughing and I'm crying at the same time. I'm totally panicked. So, God, I forgot what I was telling you. I lost that train of thought. But anyway, yeah, it was a pretty shocking experience. Sorry, someone keeps on writing me. So it was a pretty shocking experience, this, and then running. Like, I was so scared. Like, I saw the guy like coming my way, and I saw these faces looking at me, and they were pointing my direction, and I'm like, and I heard them like, go, and I'm like, oh my God, like, just run. And then I called this person that had connection to the police, and then I looked at the phone and I realized, oh my God, I didn't the nightmare. I didn't dial the police, everybody. I dialed 8,000. I was so nervous and shaking. It took me an hour just to stop shaking. But, I mean, like, to be chased through the streets, it's something unheard of. But I was like down the thing, and then I was checking like the mirrors, and then I'm like trying to watch people speak in Hebrew, like if there's somebody who was looking for me, or, and there I had my pink vest like rolled in a ball in my hand, and there I am like running through my streets, and I know my 100 meters, so I was just like, yeah, like sliding down walls and shortcuts. Fauda in northern Tel Aviv. That's it, everybody. Oof. Oh my God, I was talking to my father, who I was like, oh, he's not really able to focus. And I was telling him, and I started telling him a story, and he started asking me about light bulbs. I'm like, Dad, why are you talking about light bulbs? And for like 5 minutes, I'm like, I don't understand the whole light bulb thing. And the reality is that I was talking about light bulbs, and my father was trying to remind me, yo, Corona holidays. So anyway, Nishikot. Alonu Mona Hava. Ahava is not just a moisturizer. It means love in Hebrew. Ahava means love in Hebrew. So, namastush from my little pink corner in Tel Aviv. Stay safe. Stay sane. Stay masked. Be kind. Be the change. And I'll see you tomorrow. Ish. 10, 11-ish.